This is a huge boon to this Team Liquid roster. They look very solid as this group of 5.
I think our team's on an upward trend.
Team Liquid 2-0 Apex. Team Liquid ran away with that game.
Our skill ceiling now that we've added Fabi is way insanely higher.
Fabi landing arrow after arrow after arrow.
He is an LCS caliber AD carry.
He's going to be really good, and I have a lot of confidence in Fabi.
Welcome everyone to week 5 of the North American LCS. Friday night is finally here and fans are bringing the excitement to our studios in Los Angeles, California. Now we're locked in and ready for 2 hot midsummer matchups. Here's a look at Cloud9's jungler Meteos and coach Reaper on stage getting set up for their upcoming brawl with Liquid. Battling in the jungle with Meteos today is going to be Dardoch, who's been riding a bit of a hot streak over the last couple weeks and looking to continue it here tonight, taking a swing at one of our top teams in the league. Hello everyone, I'm James Dash Patterson, and joining me tonight is Secret Janamine, David Freak Turley.
That's true. I was a dirty Zyra picker. She got nerfed, so now I'm a Janna one trick again.
Now you're back over to whatever's the highest win rate, right? That's all you're looking at?
I mean, I just got to start playing Leona now too. By the way, spoiler alert, Leona insane right now.
All right, well, you haven't been in the analyst area in quite
not.
some time, so I'm very pleased to have you with me here tonight.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of that freak insight, and we're rocketing towards the halfway point of the split, and this means that this is the last go-around for first looks. By the time this week is over, every NALCS team will have played every possible matchup, Freak.
Yeah, and honestly, the standings look very appropriate right now. The teams at the top have beaten all the teams below them, and teams at the bottom have beaten the ones right above them. Very, very consistent. The only upset, really, standings-wise, is CLG beating Liquid that one time, but that was kind of way back when. Liquid looks better now. And honestly, like, the teams at the bottom deserve to be at the bottom. This is not a couple of upsets. This is, you know, CLG, Energy, Echofox, P1, all looking pretty miserable right now and hoping to get better.
Right, and conversely, all the
of
teams
course,
at the top
TSM are amazing, Immortals are amazing,
yeah,
Cyan's amazing, Envy's quite great as well.
But with that, we've had a tremendous number of games this split. We've been blessed with the best of 3s, which means we've seen a lot of action. But with a lot of action comes a lot of surprises and a lot of disappointments. So I want to know from you specifically, what have been your major surprises and disappointments so far this summer split?
Sure. Well, I'm going to take surprises as good things. So
yes.
My pleasant surprises, Team Envy and Apex, 2 of the newest teams here in the LCS. And look, I thought they'd be decent, but being in the playoffs right now, when you consider how good the rest of the teams actually are in North America, super awesome, good for them. Really happy for these guys to be in that top 6 right now, 4th place in Envy's side. Disappointment though, Counterlogic Gaming and Energy Esports. Like honestly, it's a little bit shameful that CLG, our defending champions, changed nothing about the roster. Second MSI, 3 weeks later, smashed every single week in North America, and that's really rough. Energy kind of for similar reasons, right? Just like they upgraded, you assume 3 out of the 4 players that weren't GBM and are doing worse than last split.
Yeah, I mean, running across that roster, you have GBM in the mid lane.
So, okay, we'll keep Impact as a better top laner, but down the line, I think all those players were and should be better, and that's not happening.
Yeah, well, definitely a little bit of a disappointment, but of course, as every team will be looking to have a better second half to the split, CLG and Energy in particular are 2 of the teams that have a lot of work to do. So let's dive a little deeper into how or what about their game is problematic as of right now.
Right, so Counterlogic Gaming, honestly, it feels really weird because they're playing their own kind of unique style. Like, all their players are super low kill participation because they're playing split push the whole time. And they're just only able to beat teams that are worse than them. Like, all the solid teams are actually outplaying them overall. Like, their early game is fine. They're a little bit down, but that's okay. Their laning stats are reasonable. And when they look good, they look great, right? When they're winning, it's easy because they're playing CLG style, but they're getting smashed more often than not in mid-game. Energy are actually just losing early game.
Right.
They're down 1,000 gold at 15 minutes on average. GBM is the worst laning mid laner in the NALCS this split. He has the worst CSD at 10, lower than Pyrian, lower than Slushy, lower than Huhi. He is number 12. KFO has been better than him in the mid lane. Like, he is the worst laner in North America in the mid lane right now. And this holds true for the rest of the team. A lot of them have very, negative CS things. And yeah, like Energy are getting smashed, and okay, they're doing what they can with those kind of deficits, but it's not pretty either.
KFO with this one Vladimir game.
KFO.
Better mid laner than GBM. You heard it here first. No, just kidding. Anyway, what we did as casters talk quite a bit in the early portions of the split about top laners and how much effect they would have on team success. And it's not as though we haven't seen top laners carrying from time to time. The players, however, in discussions with them, have pointed a lot more towards the mid lane. And as we've seen the meta develop, it appears that the mid lane is more of a focal point towards winning.
Right, exactly. An easy stat to use for sort of what teams focus on is you look at pick ban trends. And in professional play, the top 4 most pick ban champions are in order: Ryze, Vladimir, Azir, and then Karma, who's also a part-time mid laner here at this point.
Right.
These are the most contested champions in professional League of Legends in the summer split of 2016. So everyone cares about mid laners a whole hell of a lot, and everyone's playing around them, right? Pobelter is like the player of the game leader on Immortals, which is insane because, like, well, it turns out these are the guys that are carrying all the time. So, you know, Vladimir being insane, Azir, etc., right? So no big surprises there, but this is what everyone's caring about right now.
Yeah, we've also seen like a number of junglers starting to deviate from standard lane swap patterns and actually make visits to the mid lane before that 3-minute mark even to try and put a little bit more pressure and open the map up that way through their mid laner.
And that's teams learning how to lane swap better. Like, over time, people get better and better and better at lane swapping, catching on that, look, junglers are actually free in both rounds of a typical lane swap. So they can do whatever, they can keep jungling, and that's fine, or they can get ganks off in the mid lane. Sometimes you can greed your support over and make that play as well. And these are all things that, well, teams have to learn to adapt with and deal with and whatnot.
Now, I find these pick ban statistics very interesting when they're focused around one lane so much. And I kind of want to return to our earlier conversation about surprises and disappointments and come in with a disappointment of my own. Echo Fox and Froggen in particular, as it relates to champion select, in that he doesn't seem to play. Whether it's
he's not showing us.
Yeah, whether it's I actually can play these champions or I don't want to play these champions, we can't say necessarily. But of those top 4 champions, Azir being the one that he's played it one time last week and he lost on it. The Vladimir gets banned against them, but that's a KFO ban.
Right, and KFO takes it mid lane. That's his mid lane game.
I have questions around, you know, when you're looking at a guy that everyone states is one of the best mid laners we've ever, and, you know, history will have said that. But at this point in time, when you're sitting near the bottom of the standings and your mid laner, the leader of your team, isn't playing top tier champions, that's kind of worrisome.
Right, so to break that topic down a little bit, right, there is something to be said for saying, you know, we as a team don't believe in everyone else's meta, right? CLG was like playing top lane split push.
Immortals.
It was cool, right? Immortals.
Last split.
Got first place regular season, dropped 1 game. So, like, there's something to be said for not caring about the meta, and I'll buy that to a certain extent. But if you're also then banning those champions, it means you do respect them.
Right.
And you actually do care about other people playing Azir and other people playing Ryze and whatnot. So you can't have your cake and eat it too if you think it's the optimal play style. Froggen, as a player, you're right, he's not playing these champions. He's not showing us that he wants to play these champions, which could be either can't or chooses not to.
Right.
As an individual, he's still laning well. Like, he's top half of the standings as far as his individual one-on-ones go. Some of that's he takes Raptors on cooldown, but like the numbers are at least there that he's like up in gold, up in farm, whatnot. But you're right, Echo Fox as a team, you know, haven't looked any better than last split, whereas the rest of North America did.
All right, well, they're playing tonight. We'll see if they made any more changes or if he's added another champion to his pool. Let's get a look at how the league stands coming into our 5th week of competition, though. TSM has sole possession of first place, while Immortals and Cloud9 complete the top 3. Team Envy is in 4th, with Liquid and Apex just behind, and the bottom of the ladder is led by CLG in 7th, followed by Energy, Echo Fox, and Phoenix 1. Time now, though, to preview the LCS action coming your way this weekend. Tonight, Cloud9 and Liquid duke it out in the Battle Theater, followed by our 2nd series between Echo Fox and Team Envy. And on Sunday, make sure to set a reminder for our match of the week. Click over to NALCS 2 Sunday afternoon as 2 of the league's top teams battle for LCS dominance when Immortals faces off against Cloud9. I mean, once again,
that is
the last time these 2 teams met, Immortals got the better of Cloud9 2-1, but most would say that that was still a relatively close series. Here they are some weeks down the line, with Cloud9 in particular having improved quite a lot as a team. What are your thoughts on that match?
I mean, I just absolutely agree with everything you just said, right? C9 getting better and better and better over time. We're honing in on how they're playing the support role, which is you just swap every single game, basically. And you help, like, he just spies the game beforehand, brings the new insight. But yeah, I mean, those are 2 top caliber teams. They're also able to dethrone TSM at some point as well.
Yeah.
But those 3, TSM included, are insanely good teams. I wish I could watch them play forever, right? And we just had a 3-team league we just played over and over again. That would be my ideal. Like,
right, I know, seriously. I mean, yeah, our top 3-4 teams are just so exciting to watch, and there's so much competition between them all. As you can see on your screens right now, Loco, Doko, and the rest of Team Liquid getting prepped in their little circle, ready for games. And while we're talking schedules, want to throw a heads up to you guys. The NALCS is going to be starting 2 hours earlier beginning in week 7. So beginning July 15th. And for the rest of the split, NALCS broadcast will go live on Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, to reiterate, Saturday and Sunday schedules remain unchanged, so that's still noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern for those days. But Fridays, we'll get to start earlier so that more people can join us here on these lovely Friday nights. Also, earlier, you heard Freak and I talk about our biggest surprises of the split. Now it's your turn. Today's social media question is, what's been the biggest surprise in the North American LCS so far this summer? Tweet us at LOL Esports using the hashtag NALCS and share the team, player, or moment that sent you into summertime shock. Now, C9 and Liquid are just about ready, as you saw moments ago, so let's head into the battle theater to get this series started.